Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Go&Do podcast. This is episode 12 of the podcast, and we are very grateful and lucky here to have one of my good childhood friends, Brigham Evans.
What's up?
On the podcast. He's a dog. So without further ado, Brigham, if you just want to kind of introduce yourself quickly, kind of run through, your mission, the years that you served, and then maybe a couple quick facts about you.
My name is Brigham Evans. I currently live in Spanish Fork, Utah. Kind of moved around, born in Ogden, lived in Texas with this guy, lived there for 9 years, moved back up. I served in the Botswana and Namibia mission from 2021 to 2023. My last transfer did split into the Pretoria, South Africa mission. The chunk of South Africa used to just be a part of Botswana and Namibia. But yeah, I have a wife, Maddie. You can't see her.
Shout out Maddie.
Shout out Maddie. But yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for being here, dude. Super excited. So let's just hop right into it. So, were you super hyped about your mission call? Kind of what were your thoughts there? And did you know anybody that had also served in Africa at that time, or
no? So I was super excited. I remember when I got my mission call. I had no idea how to pronounce it. My parents thought I was just mispronouncing Boston. Yeah, my dad, when I was trying to read Botswana, then Namibia, they're like, what the heck are you saying? It's Boston. I had no idea where it was until it said I would report to the Johannesburg, South Africa MTC. That's when I first knew. I'm like, holy crap, I'm going to Africa.
Yeah.
When I read it, I'm like, I have no idea where Botswana and Namibia is. I didn't know anybody who had gone to that mission previously. But funny enough, when I got my call, I found out that one of my good buddies, Coleman, got the call to the same place, same time, leaving at the same time. It was also in my high school.
That's sick.
And then, what was it? I can't remember how long I was out. It was only 2 months. A sister got called to our mission that actually lived across the street from me in Spanish Fork. And then my sister's best friend in high school, her brother also was called there, and he had already been serving for a year, but got transferred, and we flew together to Africa.
Okay, cool.
So I had no idea about it, but then super quick, we had 4 or 5 people from Spanish Fork.
Church favors Spanish Fork people.
Literally, yeah. If you're in Spanish Fork,
probably
odds of going to Africa go up. But,
yeah, that's tough.
But yeah.
And is that? Were you one of those chumps that wanted to go, had to go foreign, or
no?
I was one of those chumps, by the way, so it's not derogatory.
Well, yours was crazy when your call was. I remember you messaging me on your call. That was crazy.
I was peeved.
Yeah. Well, you got called to a place your family was moving.
Yeah, Pocatello, Idaho.
Yeah, and so it's how does that even happen?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I knew that it's you got to just choose to be grateful for wherever you get called to serve, because that's where the Lord needs you to go. But
some people know it and some people don't, right?
Yeah. Some people learn.
I definitely was. I would be lying if I said I wasn't excited. And I did feel really good that I was going foreign. I think everyone feels that way a little bit, that you feel good about yourself if you're going foreign or not. But I just remember very quickly my dad telling me, it's hey, oftentimes you just get called where the Lord needs people praying about his children. So just be grateful where you're called, and everything will be okay. So
yeah, no, that's true. He definitely cares about somebody in Africa just as much, or, the same as somebody next door in Orem, Utah. So.
It's true.
Very true. So take us through kind of the travel process, getting out there.
It was,
and also for the MTC, because Josh was saying a lot of people have visa problems, so they don't end up going to the MTC. Did you go to the Johannesburg MTC?
No, and we'll have to get into visa problems later, because visas suck with Africa.
Josh said the exact same thing.
Oh, and in our mission, because it's 3 different countries, it was a nightmare. Yeah. But anyway, I got my call, and the problem is COVID was still going on. So in my call, and they even sent an email, they're like, hey, you're most likely not going to be going to the Johannesburg MTC, and for now, plan on doing at-home MTC. Yeah. And then right before, leading up to me going to the MTC is when they first started letting people back into the Provo MTC. So I was just the second group to be back in when they were allowing things with COVID. So like I didn't know that MTC could hold as many people as it does because there was like a third of what it holds when I was there. Like there was so like few like people there. I did not get approved for my visa until 3 days. I was already in the MTC for like a week and a half before I knew that I was approved to go to Africa.
Okay, yeah.
I was starting to stress a little bit, not too much, but I'm like, am I going to get like reassigned for a transfer? Because a lot of people do. Like a lot of the guys, especially in my group, got transferred or like had to do like a, what is it called? Like a reassignment for like their first transfer and then get to Africa. But yeah, the visa process, thankfully for South Africa, it's the best. You get a 25-month visa for South Africa. Now it's a little bit different if you're going just to Botswana and Namibia. But when I went, you would get the 25 months for South Africa almost as treating that like a home base, that if you can't get into Botswana or Namibia for whatever reason, you can at least be in South Africa. So you need to get the South Africa one, but I just went to the Provo MTC, which is a great experience. I'm glad I went.
Yeah, that's good.
The Johannesburg MTC, funny enough, is the smallest MTC in the world. I could be wrong, but it only holds like 30 people.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like there's only going to be like 30 missionaries at any given time at the Johannesburg.
Food's probably
MTC.
subpar.
It's just African food, so you get thrown right into eating what they eat.
Well, dude,
so.
Josh doesn't know what jollof is. Like do you know what jollof is?
What is that?
Oh man, it's this
0 for 2.
0 for 2.
0 for 2.
It must be like, I think it's Ghanaian.
So
I think it's Ghanaian or something.
Well, so the problem with names change pretty quickly in Africa depending on what village or culture you're dealing with.
Of course it does.
So what kind of food is that?
Just
because
describe
it
it.
might
it's like,
maybe
it's
it is
like,
called
it's
something
like
else.
seasoned rice. I think it's all cooked in one, but it's almost like hard-boiled eggs with like seasoned rice and like usually like chicken or some type of.
we would have that all the time.
Meat.
I don't think we called it that though, but yeah, we would
That
have
sounds
stuff
like
that
ham
all the
fried
time.
rice. Well, chicken fried rice, I guess.
Was the rice yellow? They love using this yellow,
like a
seasoning
yellow
when
reddish,
they
like
love
mix,
using
yeah.
this like seasoning that changes the color of the rice when they do it.
It's because they love the color,
That's
or
a-
because they love the.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like with food, there, like it could be called one thing, and then like 30 minutes south, they call it a completely different thing.
Did you rock with the Provo MTC food?
It was okay, but I actually had a horrible experience with the food because the one time I tried the chocolate milk, it was spoiled.
Really?
So like I'm drinking the BYU creamy
gosh.
chocolate milk. By the way, only
man.
time I've ever had it. So I haven't gone back to like redeem it, which is probably my
Man,
fault.
you should.
It's not really.
But
You don't need to.
I went to drink it and all I could taste is like fish. And it was just like the worst
man.
thing ever. So I'm like,
Wow.
yeah.
I didn't know that
gosh.
they were capable of that.
That's rough.
Yeah, I had the chocolate milk on go.
Literally, yeah, I wish. I wish like
no.
daily I could have it, but I'm like, all it took is one.
Is that
Like
go-
I'm not touching
yeah.
it again.
Hey, we can. Yeah, I can wrap up this food segment for but I will say, I remember like I actually was pretty fond of it. They had meatball subs. They had like the donuts.
I don't remember not
like.
liking it.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
I will never forget like on Sunday night, and it was like the fast Dre because I was not a faster before the Mish.
Really?
No, I was not a faster. You kidding me?
are you kidding me?
I had to get
That
dragged.
Sunday, it's like
I hardly
right
believed
past
in
it.
anything at all. So fasting was. So I remember
The least.
it was the Nephi experience, the Go&Do Nephi experience, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the 6-hour like study thing with the fast and stuff. And I remember everyone was like, guys, like we got some banging food for y'all when this wraps up. This is like my first fast of all time. And I remember like we go in there, Dre, do you remember that pot roast?
Yeah, I remember it. It was like cold in the middle. Like,
pot roast.
Was it just not
Yeah,
good?
it's worst pot. I already despise pot roast as it is.
I do too. I don't really love it,
I hate pot roast.
but I figured, when you're hungry, almost anything tastes
Right.
good. You know what I'm saying?
Hunger's the best.
I
food.
actually
Exactly.
think I think I ate like maybe 2 bites that
I
day.
literally slammed like 5 bowls of cereal instead. Like I tried.
You guys were just trying to find any other source of
Yeah,
food.
you
We
had
Like
seriously
to.
we
did.
got
You
a
had to.
detour.
Seriously did.
I was like, I should have just kept that fast going. Waited till the
That's
next
so
day.
right.
For real.
Get extra blessings.
Yeah.
It's like God, we got to do this.
Yeah, it was
together.
tough. So anyways, so MTC's wrapping up. You enjoyed your time there. Mm-hmm. What did that travel day look like? Because for me, it was miserable just going to Denver, which was a 45-minute flight. So
Really?
yeah. So kind of want to hear.
Did you have to get like major like detours for like the cheapest flight, or was it just a direct flight?
No. It was a Delta direct flight. Maybe I'm just soft. I'm just soft because it was a
Definitely
miserable
part of
travel
it.
day.
Because based on yours versus like the ones we've interviewed in the past.
I think
yours
it was
is the easiest.
I think it was- I think
the
it
nicest
was-
one.
I hate
out
to
of
break it
everybody.
to you, but yours is way easier than
Like
mine.
even
Yeah,
mine wasn't great,
Yeah.
but it was better than like what Josh just explained.
We got off the terminal and out there in Denver, and President Blake's waiting there and picks us up with the APs, and it's a great night that we all spend together. So
Yeah, it sucked.
anyway, yeah, it was horrible, but yeah, and then I watched
Yeah,
I
you
don't
also
remember.
got to like watch a movie.
I don't remember. I tried to keep it. I think it was like Finding Nemo I watched, which I still knew I probably shouldn't. But I remember.
Oh, you're
keeping
fine. I watched 2 movies on my way.
I remember-
and 2 movies on my way home. I was not.
Homeboy next to me was watching 007 Skyfall, and I was like, I know.
You know the Avatar movie?
Yeah,
The Way of Water.
I watched the first Avatar movie first time in my life on my way to Africa,
Oh,
and
wow.
then Way of Water on my way home. That was
Okay.
the first time ever seeing
That's like a
Avatar.
cool full circle.
Yeah,
moment,
full
though.
yeah.
That's tough.
Mine was
Yeah, it was.
the movie I watched on the way home was the Mario the Super Mario.
Oh, yeah,
Such a
yeah.
good movie.
Yeah.
Such a
Movie.
good
I don't know.
movie,
I was
by the
like
way.
super surprised. I was
Anyway,
like, dang, is this what movies are like now? And then I watched a few when I got home. And I was like, these suck.
I don't know, Dre. Maybe the fact that my travel day sucked so much was because you and Cakes, left like 3 hours before me and didn't say goodbye.
We didn't need to.
You did
We
not
knew
say
we were
goodbye.
gonna see you again.
That's fair.
I didn't care.
On some bestie. Anyways, yeah. So let's.
So
let's hear
my
this.
my travel day it started at I think we left the MTC at 3:30 or 4.
AM.
Okay,
to-
yeah, checks out.
To get to the Salt Lake City airport. We just took the bus.
How many people from your district or people that you knew were you headed with?
I was the only one in my district who was going to Africa. I was the only most of them were actually stateside in my district, and I'm just this foreign kid. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? But I met up with a lot of another district had a lot of the Johannesburg missionaries that I just got paired with, so it was fine. There was 20 people in our travel group. And then the one from Spanish Fork who left with me, he just did only online, so he met us at the airport, and then we all flew. We get to the we get to the Salt Lake City airport. We fly out. I can't remember what time we flew out, but I don't remember us waiting super long. We took the 3.5 hour flight, or maybe it's longer than that, to Atlanta, Georgia. Do you guys know how long that flight? How long is that flight?
Yeah, it's tricky because you also get back 2 hours,
Right.
but it's a four and a half hours going there.
4.5 hours of flying. We then had a good layover.
Because Josh did the same thing. The one that went to Johannesburg, he did
Yeah.
he did the Atlanta
Yeah,
connection too.
yeah.
So
And then from Atlanta,
When you say good layover, you mean
16, a couple hours, and then 16-hour flight to Johannesburg. So
nuts.
in total, my way home is actually crazier, and that's how I saw her in the airport. She was coming home from her mission the same day.
Oh wow.
And that's how y'all met?
We went to high school together, but we only were in the dance group once. So I saw her in the airport.
Star-crossed lovers.
That's a whole story, but
yeah. Wait, where did you serve, Maddie?
Louisiana.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We got a spot.
Right.
We need another interview.
If we need a Louisiana interview, you
Yeah.
got your person. Anyway, so
Sister Larson, Olivia. Yeah, that's her friend. That's cool.
So yeah, we got to the Johannesburg airport. My mission presidents at the time were actually in a different country, so they couldn't pick us up. So just the office couple picked us up from the airport, and then we just went out, got food. I had no idea what to expect, and my first meal in Africa was cheeseburgers, fries, and
Okay,
a drink.
yeah,
So
checks
the
out.
most American thing ever at a nice restaurant.
It was a restaurant, not like a fast food.
No,
chain?
it was just a nice restaurant. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
dude. Yeah, Josh.
I'm like,
Josh.
this is not Africa that I thought.
Yeah.
You fly into the Johannesburg airport, it's the nicest airport I've ever been to.
Oh
Really?
really? Because Josh said he got off the airport and he went to go to the bathroom and there was holes in the ground to pee in. That's
Oh
how
yeah,
you
that's
do it.
how the bathrooms are. But it's
But the
when you're expecting
infrastructure-
dirt and village and
Sure,
poor,
yeah.
and you're seeing nice
Palm
cars
trees.
as soon as you fly in, you're like, hey,
What's
did we
going
get off
on?
at the right country?
That's so funny. Dude.
Like,
Oh,
are
that's
we
so
in the right
funny.
That's
place?
good.
It's weird though, because when you're flying over and you look out the window in the plane, you're just flying over desert. It's nothing but just brown.
Wow.
You're ready.
Until you start seeing the city and you're like, what the heck is this place?
Yeah, you probably thought you're flying on some Civil War or something.
Literally. Literally. But yeah, the travel day wasn't too crazy, but it is of total travel time, it's a little over 30 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, like I didn't get to my area from the day I left the MTC. It would be a week and a half until I got to my first area.
Cool.
Because I flew in and like they didn't want to drive down and get me because I was 4 hours away from my area. So they're like, we're having a zone conference come up in a week, so just stay with the APs and hang out, and then your companion can drive you up when we
Probably
get
didn't
down.
have any qualms with that.
No, I was chilling. It was I was
Yeah.
just riding around with the APs. The APs, like, all respect to them, didn't really do much other than just be glorified travel agents in our mission. They would
Yeah.
just travel from the 3 countries all the time. So
Yeah.
we just drove around with them all the time, and
Oh, that's sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. So what was your first area like? Like what were your first impressions kind of getting to the area and seeing what was
Yeah.
going on and your trainer and like all that stuff?
And then what was the transition from being a travel agent for a week and a half to having to work?
So it was a good drive. It was crazy because when I started my mission, Africa was 6 months behind America as far as COVID stuff. So the first actual month and a half of my mission, it was like still pretty heavy lockdown. In fact, the first 6 months of my mission, we all had to wear masks still. And like you would get arrested on the street if you weren't wearing a mask. Like the cops were on it about it.
Crazy.
So when I first got to my area, first day we're going shopping, and I loved my trainer was awesome. He was a quieter guy, and he like it wasn't explained to me when we went shopping that we would be like buying things separate. So I'm just like walking around looking at everything. Nothing's familiar to me. I mean, there's a lot of things that like you would be just fine if you went to the store there. Like you would know what you're looking at, but it's just all the brands and stuff are different. But first thing we do is like go shopping, and we're in a city like maybe a lot of people here would think they were in a village, but it wasn't a village. Like there was plenty of street roads, and it was nice. It was Polokwane. That was what it was called. Polokwane and Seshego. That
That's
was
your
my
area?
first area. Mhm.
Okay.
We go shopping, and like he didn't explain to me that we'd be buying separate. So like by the time he's done shopping, he's like, "Oh, you're not getting anything." I'm like, "Pause. I didn't know I was. I thought we were sharing. I didn't know how this works." So
You just eating air that week.
yeah. So I went and grabbed my stuff. Had no idea what I was doing. And like for the first month and a half, 2 months, it was actually. I didn't have like a rough time as far as like homesick. I actually was lucky. I never dealt with any homesickness or anything. But my first month and a half was rough because every day it was just going to the church for the whole day, sitting on the computers, like just reaching out to people, or you're not doing anything.
You guys are doing social media work on there?
Social media, but it's like nobody in Africa has. They actually love their Facebook. Don't get me wrong, they have social media, but it's like you don't get anywhere with it there. I did 0 social media finding.
You're
in
just
my
chilling in the
mission.
family history room.
Watching Gordon Ramsay how to cook videos on YouTube so I could lock in and know what I'm
catch
doing.
up, yeah.
Yeah. My mission president, when we first got there, also had a rule: we were allowed to watch Disney movies. You could watch a movie in our mission on P Day as long as
That
it was
is
Disney.
so crazy.
So on P Days, you would run.
I just had that
yeah.
one restoration movie on go.
Funny enough, I didn't watch many movies on my mission. I watched what's the Spider-Man called?
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes, I watched
The
that
animated
one
one?
once.
Horrible movie.
And
by the
then
way.
I like it.
Awful.
and then
He doesn't have good taste.
with a family in Polokwane, my first area that we baptized her husband, we would go to her home every day for P Day. When it took a little bit to
So
meet
every
them.
P day or every day for
Every P Day.
I could
Yeah.
tell you saying every day.
Yeah.
Every day's P
Every
day in
day was
Africa.
P Day there. No, every P Day we would go there because they had Wi-Fi, and they just loved feeding us, so we would just hang out with them. And so we would just go there, and we watched the whole Harry Potter series with them because they like just happened to be playing it when we were there, and I
that's
guess
crazy.
we'll watch. but yeah.
So the first area, did you guys do, I mean, was it locked down as far as finding went too? Like you
Yeah.
really couldn't do much?
Like for the first month and a half, we baptized only one person, which in my mission that was really, really slow.
Yeah.
That was like the only month in my mission that we only baptized one person.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. I think for other reasons as well. It taught me a lot though. I think that was one of the first times I learned that Heavenly Father knew me better than I knew myself, and I needed to be prepared to learn what he was going to teach me, because I don't think up until that point I really realized that I didn't have any interest in being a mediocre missionary. But when I went through that month and a half, I'm like, never again. Never again am I not going to work. Never again am I not going to, like, I already had in my mind things that I wanted to do when I started training. That was my favorite thing to do on a mission, was train.
Me too.
But I don't think I would have had that click and been so driven to be a good missionary if I didn't have that first month and a half of this is what being lazy feels like.
Yeah.
And granted, it might have not been my fault, but I still got to experience what not doing work felt like on a mission, and it was the worst thing.
Isn't it funny? It's miserable, bro.
Oh, it sucks.
I feel like most missionaries ended up being pretty hard working.
Yeah.
It's like a canon event that you all...
I think it's just because,
kinda
too,
go
it's
through.
like when you know you're there to be like the savior, anytime you're not, it just
There's
eats
a
at
guilt.
you. Like, it just eats at you that you're like, hey, like, you're not even trying to be like the savior would be. Like, you got, like, it just eats at you if you're not.
I mean, the time's going to pass.
Oh.
Anyways.
Literally. Makes me sad, too, when people get home and they didn't enjoy where they served, because all they could think about is getting home, and I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're missing out on.
Yeah, for sure. So when it started loosening up, were you still in your first area, or was that into your second?
I was in
area?
my first area for 6 months.
Okay. So once it
Maybe
started,
5.
Okay. So once it started opening up and stuff, what was the finding like, and was the ward supportive of you guys and the finding and
so
all that stuff?
Finding was awesome. I only knocked on doors or gates. Everything's gated there, but I only knocked on gates one day in my mission.
Oh wow. Okay.
Most of our finding was through either people we were already teaching or people in the ward, whether they were less active or
Recent converts or...
exactly. Like, it was just always like word of mouth. I liked finding that way anyway. Like that would just almost be my advice to anyone in any mission, is find people through people who are already going, so someone can go with somebody they know.
Of course.
Like,
I think that would be that would have been my preferred way.
Same.
If I had...
If it was, if they would do it.
members just bring you people.
Yeah.
literally. Yeah, exactly. Some areas were better than others. My best area, my favorite area was Kanye in Botswana.
What city again?
Kanye. We actually
heard
got
him
our
right.
mission president. This isn't cab. We got our mission president to split the area into two, Kanye East and Kanye West. So we could say we served in Kanye West.
Did you serve in Kanye West?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's
It was
so
so we could say we
Yeah,
served
yeah.
in both, because we would do work in both. But my first area was good. We got to the point I trained as soon as my trainer left, I started training.
Mm-hmm.
So
you trained out of training?
Yeah, I got thrown right into it. I'm like, hey, here we go.
Were you ready for that?
No. And I was also the district leader, and I had no idea what I was
Well, you
doing.
also spent your training not really doing anything.
Exactly. And I didn't know. I felt so bad, too. The first kid I trained, Elder Hogan, he's an absolute...
Shout out Elder Hogan.
He was an
EH.
absolute stud. He had already been trained for a transfer because he couldn't get over in time. So he actually taught me, I felt like, more than I taught him in a lot of ways, of just like, this is actually... Like, I had never done much of either a companionship study or a weekly planning up until I started training, and I'm like, oh, we're supposed to be doing this stuff. He's like, so what are we doing for weekly planning? And I'm like, what is that?
Like,
I had no idea.
I'm going to see what you know.
Right.
And then we'll go from there.
Verse
I want
psychology.
to know everything that you know so I can teach you what you don't. That was
So we're
the
gonna go
mindset.
from there.
That was
There you
the mindset.
He's just casually giving your DL training.
Literally. Hey, I think I'm going to have you do the first training just so they can get to know you, catch your vibe. Like, I'm just sitting there with a notebook.
Just so good.
I'll just vibe off you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're just like you're watching him prepare it, and you're like over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, you seeing,
So you're going to start the meeting with a prayer. Cool.
It's weird. Are you
Bold
going
take.
to end one with one too?
Typically, when I do it,
Right.
I don't know. We just kind of go.
Dude, I didn't even know Jacob was in the Book of Mormon. What?
no, that's so funny. So, in this, so out of training, you trained this dude, or he trained you, vice versa.
Yeah.
This was still in the same area.
Yeah. So,
How many areas did you serve in?
oh gosh, I honestly don't know, but
So, like,
maybe 11.
okay, 6. So what we do is we usually walk through like in a little more detail, like each area.
Yeah.
Is that gonna?
I can be quick. I can make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, so first area Polokwane, it's about 5-6 months. I train Elder Hogan. We get to the point where we're probably finding about 9 to 12 people a week. And It's good. In fact, one of my favorite people
And
I've ever
how
taught.
often were they like green dots? Like where, you know what I mean? Like green dots.
Sounded like he was teaching them.
For me, I was very strict on that. So pretty much every time.
So 12 solid progressors each week.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like I got to the point where we would average about, oh gosh, I can't remember the number, but it was, at this point we were averaging probably like 8 baptisms a month to 10.
Okay.
Marshall, one of the first dudes who I taught, this was the one day I knocked on the gate. This dude, we start teaching. He's actually a neighbor of the sister that we were going to have dinner with. He absolutely loves the first lesson and then all of a sudden disappears. This is a super interesting dude because he had spent 3 years in jail because he got framed by his buddies because he was going to be super high in politics, like working with the president. His buddies framed him, put him in jail.
That sounds like some African
It is. It's
politics
100%.
stuff.
After our first lesson, he gets arrested again for some, like, I don't even know what. I still don't know what it was to this day. My trainer, this is when I was still in my training. My trainer, he's like, oh, like, we got to give up on him. Like, he seems like a sketchy dude. I see that he starts posting on Facebook again, so I know he's out of jail because his uncle ratted him out. He didn't know that we knew he was in jail again, but his uncle's like, oh no, Marshall's in jail, so you have to come back later. And so I find him on Facebook posting, and I'm like, hey man, like when can we come meet you again on Messenger? Yeah. And he's like, oh, like Tuesday would be fine. We start teaching him again. First Sunday he's at church after sacrament meeting. He comes up to me. He's like, Elder Evans, I'm going to come to church 6 times, and on the 6th time you're going to baptize me. And his first calling was, I guess,
man, let's run it.
Yeah,
okay. Sounds good.
Literally. But his first calling, he got thrown right into it, was district young men's president. Wow. So like state calling, but for a branch.
Okay.
As a district. But so served there.
Just gets arrested in front of all the kids.
Literally. Cops.
They weren't doing very many background checks over there.
That's actually our preferred way of find criminals, and then the cops come and teach the police officers who are also corrupt.
Congregation,
right. Yeah. So in Africa, what's the jail situation? I mean, is it really like fast turnarounds and stuff like that?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. All I know is the cops are corrupt enough that we just gave them a Coke or something when we got pulled over, and that's how we got out of tickets. Is we would just bribe the cops because they were all corrupt.
Having the back seat, dude, that's so funny because I feel like, you know, in the States, if I knocked on a door and I was looking for some like a prospective elder, and they hit me with like, oh yeah, he's in prison right now, so just try again later. Okay.
Yeah. All right, yeah, no, fine. That's chill. I'll try it in a month or so.
I'll set a reminder in like it's 3 years.
Yeah, literally.
Checking on that guy.
My next area, I got called to Attridgeville, which was at the time top 5 most dangerous cities in the world. So I'm like, oh, I'm
That's
not going to let my mom find out about that one.
And then is it also like, is it towns and townships?
So village. It had like its kind of thing, but it was more of a village. I absolutely love that area. We did a lot of crazy stuff in that area. When I first went there, I was once again a district leader trainer. I thankfully knew more of what I was doing at this point in time. This was actually the area that we can talk about at the end where the whole robbing.
Oh, that checks out.
Down.
That does check out.
Dangerous.
I was actually the reason why they had to change the whole rules of all of Africa south of where missionaries were allowed to live because of what happened. So.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
I was wondering if that had anything to do with Josh, like doing the whole moving thing, but probably not.
The moving thing?
No, probably not.
Moving into townships and stuff, but
maybe.
I don't know.
When I bring it up, maybe you guys can remember. But anyway, a lot of fun stuff happened in that area. Flooded the church, trying to get a baptism ready. We flooded the baptism area, so vacuuming the carpet till 3 a.m. The night before baptism. But I trained also as a district leader there. That one, it was like, thankfully we had a car, but it was like so hilly. It was a village. That one was actually a ward. So I was coming from a branch. This was the first ward I would ever serve in, and one of the only wards that I would ever serve in my mission. It was super good. A lot of the work that we were doing, this was kind of like the whole focus of our mission. It was finding priesthood holders because there's this ton of faithful women, but it's really hard to come across like a faithful man who stays married, who has kids. Like most of the fathers leave in Africa. It's just like how it is. And so our goal was to find young men. Some of the young men we actually baptized in that area are currently serving a mission right now. So that was a super fun full circle moment to see him go to the temple. One of the kids that we baptized, by the end of my mission, he was coming to every zone conference preparing for his mission call, and he's now serving in that mission.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that area was super fun. There was a lot more villagey stuff, a lot more things that came with a village. But
With the ward versus the branch, I mean, I guess just like knock it all out at once. What is the ward support or the branch support like? Did that vary between, or was it
all of
just
them
a lot
for
of
me were
excitement?
good. I think for me, like the only like advice I would give, or just what I saw, is when you go out of your way to make sure that they understand that you are there to serve them and meet their needs, they are always very excited to help. Like when they see this American white kid pull up and all he wants to do is like, hey, I know you guys have siblings that you care deeply about, or cousins or family that you want to be coming to church. We are here to help you guys. When they understood that we weren't just going to be bringing any random breathing heartbeat that we could convince the church that would show up drunk. It's like, no, we're wanting to find people that you are related to or have some kind of relationship with. So they have a person to come to church with. You have a person to bring to church. Every single area, I think because of that, I felt like we had great support. At the time, too, our bishop was actually struggling. He had just lost his kid and his wife. So he was like going through it. He actually wasn't showing up most Sundays. And so we were doing a lot of helping him out as well. And that was a super cool thing. But no, I mean, the support was great. They were always helping us as we were finding people, as we were teaching people. We had a car, but we would walk around a lot. We would like almost park our car at a member's home and then just walk around the village to all the homes that were next to theirs and just like find all the neighbors and start teaching them and whatnot. But yeah, it was super cool.
Gotcha. Just keep going through like each area. We're just already moving in that direction anyway.
So after this one, this area was great. I was also there for, I think, like 4 months until I was then transferred to Namibia. This was my first time. I was going to a completely different country. The area I was going to was Go&Do. This is just a straight village. It only has one street that just goes north and south. It's 9 hours away from the closest missionaries. So I was at the very top of the country. It was just me and my Ugandan companion who was like 27 years old. His name is Elder Kakoza. He's super cool. But he was like a professor before his mission. He got baptized at 21. He comes from a polygamist. His dad's a king. So he has like 40-something siblings, but absolute stud. He was one of my favorite companions. I fly to Namibia. Flying in my mission at the time, the country's relationship with any kind of religious person was not good. So I actually did not travel as a missionary. We couldn't wear our missionary clothes. You wouldn't wear your tag. You wouldn't tell people that you were a missionary. They gave us a script of something to memorize that we were visiting someone for a wedding and stuff for 90 days. And you would just wear your normal street clothes. Because if they found out that you were there for religious purposes, because so many people had gone in and like taken people's money and land by using religion, they're not good with people that stay in there for a long time.
So you proselyted in street clothes with no tag?
No. This was just to get through the border. So flying, you're just in there, and then once we're there, I was also there with the zone leaders for a week before my companion could get me because he can't even drive, so I had to drive. Yeah. We make the drive by ourselves up to Ogwendiva. As we're doing it, like you'll see like elephants and giraffes on the drive as you're going up to the area. It's all sand and dirt there. There was only one street. We had a 4x4 Ranger though that was so sick to drive around. So we would just be hauling through the sand and stuff. That was a super cool area. I was the first counselor in the bishopric as soon as they got to the area, because the branch I guess it was a branch, but the branch was so small that they only had President Matota, who That was a super cool story. He was a chief prosecutor for the country. And so he was a big deal. Everyone in that town knew him as Chief Matota.
And he was the branch president?
Uh-huh.
I would hate to have to go up and repent.
Well, he was the most humble, sweetest dude, like somewhat newly converted to the church, didn't know what he was doing. So we were there. The reason why we were also in like the branch presidency was because we had to like help him understand how the church was supposed to be run.
Okay, yeah.
You'll do a lot of that depending on the areas you serve in as Africa, is you'll find like a lot of times they need Americans because they need people who know how the church is supposed to run because they just don't know. And so a lot of times we were teaching people how like certain meetings were supposed to go, certain how sacrament meeting is actually supposed to look like.
Now, either I heard the story somewhere or I heard it from you or somehow I've completely convinced myself of the story that didn't happen. But is it true that there was like a branch president or maybe the same guy or something that like was like either, or was it maybe the other guy we talked to and but it was like giving the priesthood like the wrong person?
That wasn't for me, but I have heard of that before. Yes,
okay.
That they'll accidentally
like
dish it out to the wrong person, and you're like, hey,
President
Matota.
Matota. Was he? I mean, was he missing the mark substantially, or was it just small things that he just had to correct?
No, it was genuinely just like he didn't do really anything wrong. It was genuinely just like he was asking us a lot of like, hey, what are we supposed to do here? Like, what are we supposed to do here?
Yeah.
Me and my companion Elder Kakoza would handle everyone's tithing. That was a weird feeling, like taking and collecting and recording tithing. I'm like, are we supposed to do this as missionaries? But it's like
that's sick.
That's what we were doing.
Yeah, you or who else?
There was only one. I'm not making a joke, I swear, but the only fast food restaurant there was KFC because they loved KFC.
That's what Josh said too.
Yeah, KFC is like the biggest fast food chain there. I swear. But we would have KFC every P-Day. It was gas too. It was so good. But no, it was a village, a lot of goats and pigs and stuff going around. The work was great there too. Every single area you have to just something that I really like doing at the start of every single area was I would go up to the bishop or branch president and be like, hey, realistically, like, what's your goal? For my time being here, what would be your goal of the amount of people you would like to come in? Because I don't want to bring more people in than this dude can handle, and then they all fall off because he can't handle this many new members just like all of a sudden being in the church.
Dude, I bet you felt so like aura farming, bro. Can you imagine trying that? Can you imagine like you're like a new missionary in Denver, and you walk in, Bishop, how many can the ward handle right now?
Because I can bring as many as you need.
Yeah, and then you donut the whole. Yeah,
you just bagel.
I mean, I
just
feel like
even
the
new people
closest
thought.
thing I ever got to that with our other co-host McKay Cakes. He was also my high school best friend, and we got to serve in the same mission.
Where
at
did
the
you
same
serve?
time? Baltimore, Maryland. So I served in the Inner Harbor ward, which is like a lot of these like foreign wards. They're just like so behind. They miss the mark. They're trying
exactly,
and there's just like so many new people all the time.
Yeah.
So that was the only time he had to.
You probably spent more time like helping all the people who had already come in instead of finding a bunch of new ones.
We had
to
three
make it worse.
like young missionaries in there. So there was 2 sets of elders and a set of sisters, and then we had 2 senior couples missionaries in there too.
Oh my goodness!
Like that they did all like the records and stuff, and then we did all like the missionary work.
Yeah,
and that was the only time that I ever had to be like, "Hey, how many can we?" You know, because anybody would come.
Yeah,
anybody would get baptized. Anybody, so that was the only time that was like, "What do you want us doing here?" So I understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, like one of the first things we just needed more priesthood. So we obviously baptized just people who wanted to be baptized. We wouldn't turn anyone away, but like. Our biggest goal, and we were able to for the time I was there. I was only there for like 2.5 months before the area got shut down because we just didn't have enough missionaries. We had to shut down the area. We were able to bring in 4 priesthood holders who could get the priesthood and start getting the calling and replace it. It was it's been so big for them to help him grow. His son, I got super close with his son. I've always loved soccer, but especially on my mission, I played just insane amounts of soccer in the street and stuff. One of our biggest ways of finding is we would host these big soccer events because this was for a lot of kids their first time actually playing with a real soccer ball. So, and I would do this in my next area as well, and it blew up. But I wanted to create an environment for these kids that if they go to church, they know where the church building is because they know that they can go play for free and get taken care of, and it's a good environment. So everyone in the town, whether they were a member or not, the goal was them to associate that building with a good time.
Yeah.
And feeling good when they're there.
That's sick.
And so we would play a lot of the soccer. His son was insanely good at soccer. And we would play all the time. He's now currently serving a mission.
That's
and it's just so cool to see people that you helped prepare for a mission. He didn't know if he wanted to go. He's now doing incredible work. And it's just so cool to see it go full circle. But I was only there for about 2 months until I was then called to be a zone leader down in the main city in Windhoek. And that was really fun because I got to travel a lot from there to Swakopmund, which is right on the beach. It's the only place in the world where sand dunes meet the ocean.
Wow.
So if you ever see like a video or whatever of the sand dunes and the oceans next to it, that's in Namibia where I surf. That area is super cool. You get to ride camels on the beach, look at the ocean. You get to hike the dunes on P-Day and stuff, see a bunch of flamingos. Wow. But
dang, I just went to hooped at the Steak Center.
Yeah, that was about to say.
Red Robin, maybe.
We went to Baker Park and played spike ball,
right?
Volleyball,
right?
Every day.
Yeah, no, we took our vehicles. There was a huge national game park in Namibia. We would just go there for a P-Day. We followed like this Pride of Lions for 45 minutes, and I was driving. It was super fun.
Yeah, again, we would tons of dogs.
You ever been to the Denver Zoo?
Crazy
people watch.
Crazy spike ball. But I was then there. I was a zone leader. Funny enough, I was a zone leader, but my companion wasn't. So I was a zone leader by myself.
Oral farming.
Not sure why. I was like,
that's cool. Was that like a common thing in the Mish?
No.
Okay.
And there was also
that would suck.
Were you split? Because we had it.
No, we were still companions.
No, I'm sorry. So did you have another zone leader?
No.
Pair?
No.
It was just you over the zone.
I was ZL 1 and 2, and I'm like, all right, here we go.
Gotcha.
And there's no senior couples in this country, by the way. So I'm like highest line of authority, and I'm like, why the crap are you guys making me do this? Like, this is... And I honestly, I liked and didn't like being a zone leader. My favorite thing was to be a district leader and a trainer.
Yeah.
Zone leader was tough because I just did so much driving instead of being able to teach more. Because it's like you're constantly driving people to and from the airport.
I think most people that had a chance
do like exchanges, and it's just
I think most people that had the opportunity to do both. I think me and most of my friends agreed. The district leader, you have the biggest impact on.
Yeah,
you just feel like you're able to serve more of like genuinely serving people. Like it's hard to feel like you're serving when you're just driving someone to the airport.
It's just administrative versus like actual service ship.
Exactly. Yeah. The coolest thing to happen, I would say, like one of my favorite memories from that area was when we had a mission tour and President Silva and President Dubé, who I both got to see speak in general conference as a missionary, flew in, and I drove them all around. I was their chauffeur because our mission president didn't come with them. He stayed in South Africa.
And this was as you were a zone leader?
Okay. So I was just chauffeur.
Was that nerve-wracking?
Because
I did that too.
Wife around it. I was terrified.
I did a 7. We drove around a 70. We drove him to a rental car place to like get his car, and like the whole time I've never gone like slower in my life.
I'm white knuckling the steering wheel the whole way.
I'm 10 and 2.
Yeah.
My
you want to break the tension with some?
Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Music is off. I'm like locked in.
All you want to do is throw on some like a youth album, something.
But he was so cool. Like he was talking to us too. He was so
Google
chill.
Drive. That's like the Google Drive. The missionaries have that like everything you could possibly imagine is on it. And they're like, "What's that, Elder?" You're like, "Oh no."
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Tons of scriptures.
Right.
Elder Conrad, why you drive this lovely vehicle? Can I actually just see your phone?
Yeah.
Do a phone audit.
My phone.
Oh, I'm clean. You would love Elder Such's phone.
My companion, though.
You would love it.
My companion's one is way easier to check through.
I don't even know my passcode. I've never on my phone. I can't even tell you how to
I'm
get
just
in.
so devoted.
Thankfully, at this time, we were sharing a phone. So
you guys both would have been cooked.
Yeah, exactly. We both would have been set.
We go down.
We go down together.
But driving them around, they were like the two sweetest people in the world.
They really are.
Like,
they're really great.
It's hard to describe what it's like to be in the same room as these kind of people, but they are just the most genuine, nicest people in the world.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes in, like President Silva, Elder Silva, every single 5 seconds, you say something good, and he's like, "Congratulations, Elder, that's awesome." Like his favorite word's "congratulations." I'm like, what a good person, because that's not me. Yeah. But like 10 minutes in, he's like, "Elder, you are the best driver I've ever seen. Congratulations." And I'm like, "That's right. That's
probably right.
That's right. That's right." I'm like, "That's 100% that's right. Authority."
Looking at your phone. Congratulations on all of these downloads that you have.
I'm like one arm texting while driving,
scrolling.
Right.
Elder, congrats! You've broken every standard.
Right.
Congratulations,
dude. Check out this sister, like right in front of the general. But anyway, so I was there. I then get transferred to Botswana. I'm hyped because it's not like it's a rare thing, but you just can't expect to be able to serve in all 3 countries just because the visas are so hard. Like you get a 90-day visa, then you try to renew it, and then most people you can max serve in Namibia for 6 months. That's what I did. And so I then get to Botswana. Same kind of travel thing, by the way, like not traveling as a missionary, like getting through the border. Thankfully, this one, like I flew to South Africa and we drove. You drive between South Africa and Botswana because it's closer. Namibia, you have to fly. I get into Botswana. My first area, my only area in Botswana was Kanye. That was by far my favorite
and
area.
Was this your time? Are you someone that, Matt, is he someone that's comfortable telling people about his leadership assignments, or is that not?
What do you mean?
Comfortable telling about it?
Yeah, you're the guys like, oh, AP, or because this was your time, and
I was never an AP. I helped.
You weren't?
No, I helped.
Bro, I thought you were this whole time.
Is that a rhetorical question? He's talked about it. Obviously, he's talked about being a district leader and like a.
Yes, but I thought you were an assistant. Like
I helped
whole
out
time.
the assistants a lot, especially like when I switched missions, or there was times that I was almost like an honorary AP because I was helping him out.
Yeah,
but I even told the mission.
It's like the best of both worlds,
I
bro.
never want to serve as an AP because
that's so tough.
To do anything.
So, okay, yeah, okay, that makes no sense. I definitely thought you were an assistant.
When I got to Kanye,
West,
it was just Kanye at the time. There was only 2 missionaries there. This was by far the best bishop I had ever served with. I still keep up with him to this day. Bishop Pule, everybody knew him. I first get there, and things are really slow. I'm just kind of struggling with my companion. This was my second African companion. 2 weeks in, I find out that through Facebook, when we're on an exchange, I find out that some messages had been sent between my companion and a sister in our ward.
Yeah.
Also not of age, which wasn't ideal, but
we've had that.
Yeah,
we
have
interviewed a kid from Central America, and he was
like, I don't want to talk negatively about anybody, but not a good situation at all.
Is it more normal? Because he was saying in Managua, that's like kind of normal. It's like,
sadly, with a lot of the missionaries who are from that country, this is their first time with a phone, first time with social media. And they have access, and they haven't learned, like, they have access, sadly, to all these girls. And they can just reach out to them, and they feel like they're falling in love. And the problem is he was only 2 hours away from his hometown. It's like, this could very realistically, if this worked out, be a girl that he stays with after mission. Yeah. And so that's really difficult.
If you made 12-year-old me a missionary, that's when I got my phone, Don't take that out of context. I'm just saying, I probably just wouldn't have been the best missionary. That's all I'm saying.
Such a good call.
God knows our strengths and weaknesses.
Yes, exactly.
You're good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I told my mission president this was like crazy because they shut down the whole area. Mm-hmm. We have to go up to the main city, Gabs.
Were like all the members like peeved about it or like disturbed?
Most of them didn't know, but we had to tell the bishop, and he's like, "What the
crap?
Like, what is this all about?" And it gets to the point where I'm the only missionary assigned to this area. Like, I'm the only one assigned to it. I'm like, "What the heck is going on?"
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to be there for 3-4 weeks. I'm serving in Gabs. At this time, I find out that I am on the chopping block of getting sent home from my mission. Because when it comes to sexual sins, they send home companionships.
Yeah, because you were an enabler.
Right. It went all the way up to the first presidency to decide if I was going to stay on my mission or not, and if he was. Thankfully, we both got to stay, but I was so stressed. Like I was talking to my family, I'm like, Mom, I might be coming home. Like I don't know what to do. Like this sucks. This is the worst feeling in the world. I had only been out at this point like 14, 15 months too. So I'm like, I have so much time left. I'm not even like, I haven't even figured things out yet.
Yeah.
Thankfully, after like a month and a half, we finally get to go back to the area. I'm training again. They give me a greenie who's still one of my good best friends still to this day.
Wait, so I'm sorry, you wrote out the transfer with this guy, or did you get EQ?
No, so he got sent out of the country.
Oh, okay. So
I was then serving with other literally. I was then serving, dude, and like I felt so bad because like I didn't like all the missionaries who are around knew what was going on because it's like they saw it firsthand what I was going through. And like the word unfortunately spread just so fast through the mission. Yeah, our mission wasn't big. Like you guys might have had way bigger. Like the most missionaries at one point in my mission was like 60 something.
Oh, that's small.
Yeah,
ours was like 150.
Like it was really easy to spread crap in our mission because it was like not a lot of people you got to tell.
Yeah. That waiting period, by the way, like waiting because I had that happen too.
Yeah,
it was a first presidency
call. It's the
call.
worst in the world.
Like it went to the 70, then it went to the presidency, or then it went to the 12, then it went to the presidency.
It's the
and
worst
they never
in the
tell
world.
you what's going on until the answer's there.
I'll be like, hey Bishop, any update? They're like, no, I expected it'll probably be like 2 weeks. And I'm like,
you mean your mission president?
Yeah. So then you're spending 2 weeks.
Right.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
and like
just like
daily
knowing.
planning. My greenie's like looking at me out.
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously, my comp would be like,
you just don't know what's going on.
My comp's like, you doing okay today? And I'm just like, dude, I just don't know.
Yeah, I could be hugging my parents tonight.
You don't know what to think. You don't know what to say. Like, it's just, it's a mess.
And then, of course, when you come home, everybody's going to be thinking the worst.
Exactly.
Like, that's a whole other thing you're thinking about.
Exactly.
Like, what's everybody going to think?
Well, also, it's like, I wouldn't be also the kind of person to, like, rat my companion out so people think better of me too. So it's like, oh, why'd you come home early? I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, well, my companion.
Well, I snitch.
You're a better man than me. I mean, if my companion was doing what your companion was doing, I'm airing that out on Facebook. Hey, friends and family, like I'm adding everybody.
I might be home, but it's not me.
I'm gonna highlight everyone. Be like everybody,
just to set the record straight. You tag the
elder. I'm putting first, middle, last name.
So this guy was texting this girl.
You tagged the missionary that made the mistake.
He's going down.
This is the fool of the message. This is the fool.
I'm coming with a fire.
But anyway, we get to go back to the area. I'm pumped, but it's like we're starting from ground zero. Yeah. All the members, I don't know what they're thinking. I'm like, here we go. I go up to Bishop Poulet, who would soon become just like my absolute favorite person in the world, my boy. I ask him, I'm like, Bishop Poulet, like, what are your goals? Like, what do you want us to do? He's like, well, I want to do a big youth temple trip 6 months from now, but we need 90 youth to go. Right now, we only have 30. I'm like, okay. And he's like, but we also need more adult priesthood because these youth need to get fellowshipped or they're going to go. Like, we need to make sure that they're all connected so we're not just like bringing in people and then freaking like leaving 2 weeks later. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know how the heck we're going to do this, but here we go. We start we had a vehicle, but we would just walk. We would just walk around everywhere. We would snag everybody. We would play soccer at the church a ton. We would grab someone that we were teaching with and just walk. Like, it got to the point where everyone knew us. We were teaching as many people as we could. And then while we were there, the 6 months I was there, I think we baptized around 84 people in the 5 months, 6 months that I was there.
That's cool.
They were able to go on the youth temple trip, which was like the coolest feeling in the world because all of the youth had retained enough to be able to go to the temple.
How many priesthood holders you guys get?
Like 20 teachers and up. Okay. Teachers, priests, and then kids who could then be elders soon. They now have like kids who are serving missions who we brought in. And Bishop Poulet would meet with every single person that we taught's family to teach them about the temple and why what we were doing was so important. So he was more of a missionary than we were. Like, a ton of miracles happened, but obviously no credit goes to me. Like, it just worked in the system. And I think one of the biggest things I learned on my mission is like, don't try to be the decider of what's going to happen in your life in general, but on your mission. The Lord has a plan. Ask his servants that he's already chosen what needs to be happening, and then don't doubt when they say what needs to happen. Like when he said we need 60 more people to go on the temple trip, I'm like, I'm not going to be the one to decide that it's not going to happen. Like you won't catch me doubting if they are firmly like have the faith to do it.
You're just going to do your
So let's
part.
just go. Yeah, it's like if this has already been decided, the Lord would not have you the Lord would not have put you in charge if this was not supposed to happen. So let's just go. And tons of miracles happen. Like we didn't have water one baptism, and then it rained for the first time in 6 months, and the rain filled up the font with the cleanest water we ever had.
That's
in the JoJo outside. Like I still have a picture to this day of it filled up with rain.
Yeah.
And it's just like there were so many things that happened.
That one.
What's that?
Can't really deny that one.
Yeah. No, it's like there's so many things that happened that it was just like learning that the Lord loves me more than me. Like he wants what you want more than you realize. You just need to trust him. And I think a lot of times when people, and I saw this like with myself and other companions I had, I think a lot of times when people think that the Lord doesn't have their best interests in mind, they didn't first get on the same page as him. It's like if I had had a different goal than the branch president, I probably wouldn't have seen the same success and thought that the Lord had it out for me. When you are perfectly aligned first, that's when I think you really see the biggest miracles in your life, because you're like, when you're doing something that the Lord asked you to do, the best things happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we baptized over 80 people when I was there. It was super fun. I actually didn't know this till way after, but we apparently had held like the record for most baptisms in a single area in all of Africa South, which is like 5 different missions.
Yeah.
I think the thing that felt the best though is when I started and it got to the point where I was the only one assigned, and then when I left, there was 12 missionaries assigned to that area. It got split into 2 areas, and we had 4 sisters. So like major growth in that one area. Just in the time I was there, they built a new church building, and they're now trying to make that a stake in progression. That's another thing. We had been praying my whole mission for, and we're still praying for a temple in Botswana.
Yeah.
And that was like a major thing that needed to happen to get the ball rolling, to have a temple in Botswana.
They just got it?
It hasn't been announced yet since, because you need like certain things. You need a certain amount of stakes and tithing and stuff like that. But it was like, I'm not going to be the one to decide that this ain't going to happen. Yeah. So let's get to work. And then I served there for 6 months. And then the last month and a half of my mission, I come home back to South Africa. I'm mainly just helping the new mission president. I was only around my new mission president for 2-3 weeks. And I was just helping him get settled in, and then I was gone.
That's awesome, dude. So I guess before we ask for like some crazy experiences and stuff, kind of wrapping up here, what would as far as packing lists go, you know what I mean? Ooh. It's real easy for the States because everything's at your disposal, and honestly, one thing I've learned about South Africa is it's kind of the same.
I'll be honest, it's the same. Like I was so like I brought so much like deodorant and stuff like this that I thought I would need, and then I get there and it's like there's a Nike store in the mall and McDonald's and everything that you could possibly have in America, and so you're like, all right.
Is that for most areas in the mission that you have access to? Or?
That would be if you were serving in like South Africa, Pretoria, Johannesburg. If you were serving in the villages, like you're not going to have like the super nice like Nike stores, but you're going to have like plenty of clothing.
You can still go find
plenty of malls.
Okay.
Every grocery store, everything at the grocery store you would possibly want is there. Yeah. Like, just pack what the normal person would pack as far as clothing.
So I guess that's what your advice would be. Just pack normally.
Yeah, it's just like there's no like, in my mind, special things that you would need to pack that you wouldn't have access to being there.
Okay.
Other than like maybe medical stuff, like if you have certain medical conditions, but you should already have that handled.
Yeah, like that's the case beforehand.
Yeah,
they're probably not.
You're probably not going to Africa.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, like you can get deodorant, you can get everything, every food, every clothes you could possibly want.
Sweet.
I got hair clippers. I cut hair. I've been cutting hair for a really long time.
Nice, bro.
And so that was actually one of my favorite ways of finding kids as well. Is I would get free haircuts and like kids would just
Vic blends.
Literally, dude, I would just blend people up on the street.
God, bro.
Yeah. My companion would talk to him about Joseph Smith while I was fading him up.
That's tough. Hey, that sounds like a great time.
It was my mission. I absolutely love my mission. We had so much fun.
No, I can tell, man. I as we talked every P-Day, or I don't know about every P-Day, but yeah, just like sharing experiences, sharing stories, and
hours.
No.
Tuesday,
yeah.
Yo.
What's up?
We'd screen share movies and stuff.
Right.
Nah. But
Luke,
no,
you gotta see this.
Yeah. No, I remember on my mission, I could always tell, if I had a bummy week and I was down the dumps, you'd send it. And I'm like, man, this guy's so positive and he loved his mission. So,
have to be.
Yeah. So now it's time for our favorite segment.
Craziest thing.
Craziest story, craziest experience.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. It's a buckle up moment.
Oh, I will say this too. Like, if you're going to Africa, like, I mean this, be prepared to get robbed. There was very few missionaries in my mission that didn't get robbed. Like, I got robbed probably like 4 times on my mission. You just learn how to get robbed and make it smooth.
That's some reason like
somebody starts walking up there, you're just already reaching for your
right. Everyone knows, like, only move around with the stuff that you're like totally fine. Like,
like
your
dumb
phone,
phones,
keys, $20 bill of like their currency. Because if you have nothing, you'll get jumped. Because they'll get pissed that you don't have anything. So like you always have a
gotta
20.
have something.
It is a losing battle, bro.
It's a lose-lose.
Right. Well,
you're paying for the experience.
Well, and it's hard too because the guys catch on that like the missionaries the next day have a brand new phone. They're like, who's funding these kids? So they just like keep doing it. So some areas it's like, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to Africa and you're nervous about getting robbed, you're gonna be fine. Like they never will really hurt you.
You're just gonna get robbed.
But yeah, it's just like expect that someone might come up to you and like hand me your phone, or like they'll have a knife and it's like, give me your phone. You're like, all right, bro. Like,
yeah.
Do you need Jesus? Like you ever heard about Jesus? He's like, oh man, I'm good. Funny enough, a lot of people will protect you because you're the man of God, and so they don't want to do anything.
Man of the cloth.
They don't want to do anything to the man of God because they think God will freaking lightning.
Did they ever call you white man, white
Makua?
boy?
Yep, Makua. It's like
white man or whatever.
It's just like we have a word for yeah.
Is that like derogatory? Or is it like aura?
They use it as derogatory, but when we laugh at them in our brand new Ranger and we're waving, you feel aura. Yeah. You feel you don't feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, okay.
That's like, and you live in a village, man.
Well, I'm sure the kids are using it as like a.
They say it jokingly. It's only when the adults, like just complete loser adult, is like, "Hey, Makua," and then you would say things back, and then it's fine.
Just start.
But anyway, like people would protect you though. Like crazy story, and then I'll get into my craziest. We're at this like tuck shop, street shop. I'm getting it's called kota or spaklo, but it's a big piece of bread, French fries, sausage, egg, burger, cheese, just everything into like a sandwich that you saran wrap.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture of it.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's only $1 or $2, probably 2,000 calories that you're just putting down the dome. I'm getting one also in a dance battle with a drunk dude. I'm like throwing a backflip and like doing all these dances. I start swing dancing with the dude. Like we're going crazy, just having a good time. It's nighttime too. And then a taxi driver pulls up. Something you need to know about the taxi system is it's all gang related and culture related from what tribe they're from.
Okay.
Culture. He pulls up. He's like, "Hey, Elda, come here. Come here." And I go up to him. I'm like, "Man, how you doing?" You can just smell the alcohol and whatever drugs. He pulls out this Tommy gun, giant drum magazine, and he's like, "Hey, if anyone does anything to you, let me know. Like if you need help, let me know." Puts it back down and then just speeds off. And I'm like, all right, like we had gang affiliated help.
Yeah.
But
that's comforting.
So in Attersville, it's a Sunday. We're coming home Sunday night. We're going to travel to another missionary. They're 35 minutes away. We're going to sleep there and then spend P-Day with them. So we start packing.
I just got to, hold on. I got to cut you off just real quick. With that guy, that taxi driver.
Yeah.
I would just assume this is the advice I would give, because like in Baltimore we kind of had a similar thing where like they would be like, hey, if anybody tells you like, gives you problems, like tell them you know me, and I'm like, I will not be doing that. Like I'm not like I will never be like.
Turns out
somebody's like trying to
start a fight.
Yeah,
You're
exactly. Somebody's like trying to press me, and I'm like, well, I know like Lamar, he's on 8th Street. They're like, oh, you know, boom, like you're gone. Like,
you affiliated with Derek?
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not
exactly.
So I don't know if you ever want to say that.
Just slimed
It's
out
the
in
same in
Baltimore.
Africa. Like
You just never want to like.
you wouldn't want to like. Well, I'm affiliated with this dude. Like,
Yeah.
oh, for real? You guys are with him?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
you're dead then.
Are you being for real? Like,
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to
No,
like,
it's
maybe
fine.
throw that out there. Don't
Anyway,
ever say you're affiliated with any of them.
I know guys especially like get into their head that they're with it with the gang because they're white boys from Utah and they're excited to tell their family.
Don't do it.
Don't get affiliated with them. Like,
Don't do it.
They'll love
They'll
you.
start asking for favors.
Right. Don't be giving them nothing. Don't be.
Yeah.
Drop off this bag for me. I will not.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you won't catch me doing nothing.
Yeah.
Coming home, the gate's shut, but the gate's unlocked still because we're about to leave. Every home is like fenced gate, spikes on the windows, stuff like that. I'm in our bedroom. My companion's in our study room because that's where his closet is. I'm packing my stuff. I'm chilling, packing my stuff, doing my thing. All of a sudden, big black dude with a mask walks into the room, pointing a gun right at me. And he's like, "Don't look at my face or I'm going to shoot you." I'm like, "All right, yeah. Like, I'm good. Like my hands are
Don't tell me twice.
like, I'm instantly, and I'm like, he's like, "Go to sleep." I'm like, "What does that mean?" Like
I've never been more awake in my life.
He's like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "Don't look at my face or I'm going to shoot you." I'm like, "Yeah, man, like I heard you the first time. Like, what do you mean by go to sleep?" He's like, "Lay on the bed." So I'm laying on my stomach. He smacks me in my leg with the gun, like left a crazy bruise. I'm like, "What the crap, dude?" Like I'm getting down. He's like, "Come on, let's go." I'm like, "All right, getting pistol whipped. This is valid." I'm laying on my stomach. No, actually, I start out laying on my back with my eyes closed. I'm like, this is the most vulnerable I've ever been. I'm laying on my back with there was four.
Yeah, you're at the mercy of.
There was 4 dudes in the home with a gun, all masked. I'm just laying there on my back, eyes closed, just like, all right, here we go, let's get it. They take my suitcase, start loading everything in the suitcase, everything in the pillowcase. They take my phone, make me unlock the phone so they can steal them, get the SIM card, flip them. One of the dudes, big, like fat, thick zip ties. They tie me up, so they tie my hands. They start getting mad at each other. He's like, "You idiot! You tied you tied his hands wrong." So they cut him off. I'm like trying hard not to laugh, low key, because I'm like stressed, but I'm also like, "Is this
You guys suck at this.
I don't even know what they're doing.
Is this your first rodeo?
Rookies.
Like,
Me too.
Yeah.
We're taking each other's opportunities here.
Right. It's like, do you guys know what you're doing? Keep it together. Anyway, so they make me flip on my stomach. I then put my hands behind my back. They tie it again. They tied it so tight that like when I started moving my hands, it started cutting open my wrist. So both my wrists were bleeding at this point. It was super annoying. They're just loading.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He was bummed.
So obviously I wasn't really rocking.
Yeah. Obviously, I was a little bummed at this point.
Wasn't freaking with that vibe at all. Super cool thing though. So I'm laying on my stomach. My hands are tied. They're doing everything. They started getting after my companion because they think he was looking at him. They didn't like it, so they were threatening to shoot him too. I instantly, for some reason, not for some reason, but this was the first time in my life that I felt like the spirit was talking to me, that it wasn't in my own voice. And it started to read parts from my patriarchal blessing. And it was parts about like getting married and like life after that. It was just so clear that right then and there, I knew that I was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Right after, it's a transition of almost one thing. It's almost like I instantly started watching a movie of the Savior when he was on the cross and he's like, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing." As soon as I see that, I instantly started saying a prayer for the people that were robbing us. Then I'm like, "Hey, God, these people probably are in a horrible position if this is what they have to do to provide for their family. This is probably stressful for them as well. They've already been in the home for 20 minutes, so they clearly suck at this. But I start praying for the people who are robbing us, threatening to kill us, because I'm like, these people are going through more than what I'm going through. Like, if they're having to do this and do this for their family, like,
that's exactly.
Forgive them because they don't know what.
Have you ever watched Sarah Top Approach? They say that. They say that.
We almost got put in the car.
Yeah.
If they had room in our car that they stole, we were going in the car too, and they were going to drop us off at the side of the street.
Yeah.
There was like a good chance that we were going to die. Like, it was just like
that's just what they say though. Like, you start praying for them.
Oh yeah, I was praying for him. I'm like, this dude, if this is how he has to provide and have food on the table, his life is worse than mine. He's going through way more than I am. I'm praying for this dude. I'm praying that one day they'll be okay. They couldn't fit us in the car, which kind of ticked him off, but I'm like, put a W in the chat for the boys. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah, we live to see another day.
Yeah. They one of them thought he was tough and he like cocked his gun, and I'm like, you idiot, you didn't have one in the chamber? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
should have been ready.
Because had I fought back, had I not listened.
They were so ticked too. Like, while they were rubbing us, they're like, where's your TV? Where's the laptops? I'm like, bro, you picked the wrong people to rob. We don't have anything. Ever heard of missionaries before? Now you have. They steal the car. Our cars have multiple trackers from multiple companies that we don't know where they are. When they steal a vehicle, there's 4 dudes. One person's driving. The other 3 are tearing apart every piece of trim you can imagine, trying to find this tracker and throw it out the window because they're trying to flip this vehicle or turn it into a taxi. The tracking companies have Volkswagen GTIs that have been heavily modified that make like 600 horsepower. And they like instantly, as soon as they're notified a vehicle has been stolen, absolutely fly after the tracker and will just go hunt them down. And they can like shoot, like they get it's the best way to describe my mission is like a GTA lobby. Like, if you've played GTA before, that's what serving in my mission like you can drive through red lights at night to keep yourself safe because they'll throw oranges with nails in it and try to pop your tires depending on the area you're in. So like, if it's a red light and nobody's coming, just drive through.
Go.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm still laying on my stomach, hands are tied. They leave the home like a minute later. Our car is gone. Everything's gone. I'm like, Elder Peterson, you okay, man? Like Elder Peterson, you okay? He's like, yeah, man, you good? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's like,
was he American?
Uh-huh.
Where is he from?
Idaho.
Shout out. Where is he from, though?
I don't know. But
because I know some Petersons.
But I'm like, Cameron, I'm gonna get up. They thankfully didn't take my Crocs. So I put the Crocs on, go see him. He was able to slip his ties off because they didn't do him tight, but I'm like bleeding. Like, there's blood everywhere now. Cuts him off. We're good. We then run to the nearest member that we know. It's not a crazy long run. We lived in the same neighborhood, just on the other side. But like, that was the fastest and most scared I've ever ran. Like,
because you don't want to be there in case they forgot something.
Well, we thought they were gonna turn around because when they left, they're like, "Don't even try anything. Don't try to tell nobody. Like, we're on you." This was also like,
it was like the adrenaline was wearing off, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I just got."
Yeah, and like, it was pretty obvious that they had planned it too, because like, missionaries have just sadly the most predictable schedule ever. Like, if I wanted to rob a missionary, it'd be the easiest thing. Like, every day they get home at the exact same time.
I may be locked the door maybe once or twice on the whole mission.
I don't think I ever did.
So. Yeah, like I was crazy.
I was crazy on the front door, like everyone.
Yeah, they know exactly where you're at,
literally.
So you run to the member's house.
So we're running to the member's house. It's like nighttime too, but we're yelling over the fence, "Help! Help! Help!" She comes out. We call the mission president. He puts us on the phone with some people, and then the other elders that we were gonna go visit come and pick us up. That P-Day we wake up, we go back. I find out that they forgot one of the bags that they tried stealing, my pillowcase or my laundry sack, full of like most of my clothes and stuff. So I got to keep most of my stuff. Unfortunately for my companion, he lost a lot of his, like, especially some of the souvenirs he got from the other countries they stole. I'm like, that's just, you're going to hell for that one.
That's
not actually bad. And then like, there was a whole process. Like, we had to meet with like the mission psychologist and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that has to happen. And like, you can't tell people, like, you can't even tell your family until everyone in order is notified, so everything's just in control. Then you can tell your family. So it was a process after getting robbed. After that, the mission changed rules that all missionaries had to live in an apartment, at least on the second story. No one could then live in a singular home with a fence and gate in a township because it's just too dangerous. But
wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, like most of the time you're just getting robbed on the street. It's not often that you're going to be getting pistol whipped and tied up and robbed at gunpoint. But
now, would you say you're the kind of person who say like the Spirit was kind of speaking to you and you gained that incredibly mature mindset of what was happening to you at the time? Because I'm like these like you know like I'm crashing out. You know,
it's so tight.
Yeah. So I guess what was the biggest takeaway from that? And then also just in wrapping it up because we're running kind of long, but would you let's just say somebody right now just got their call, Botswana, Namibia, and they're just dying for any info. They're from Spanish Fork, Utah, or Idaho, or anywhere else, and they have no idea what to expect. What is some of the greatest advice that you give, and then some insight you would give into the journey ahead of them for learning more about Jesus Christ?
I would say it's a wonderful mission. You're going to have a ton of fun. One of the biggest things that you're going to learn, I think this can go for everywhere, but you're going to learn what it truly feels like to love people. You're going to learn, and I would encourage you to look for the feelings that you start getting as you're getting closer to your mission of empathy towards people that you've never met before and you don't understand 100% where it's coming from or what it feels like, but really lean into the love that you're going to start feeling for people that you've never met before. Learn your biggest goal, in my opinion, should be learn what it feels like as a sliver to be like the Savior. And that's the best way that you can get to know him.
I love that. Awesome. Well, Brigham, thank you so much for hopping on the pod. That was
absolutely.
I had a blast on this episode. That was really fun. Crazy experiences and miracles that we got to learn.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. For any of those listening that just got the call, or if you're just listening because you want to hear about the mission, but if you just got the call to Botswana and Namibia, know that you're in for a treat. It's going to be fun. The Lord's going to have your back. And obviously, as Brigham was, talking about the miracles that he encountered, all the relationships that he built, and also a lot of the trauma that he endured, just as he went and did so well, so shall you go and do. So, thanks, Brigham. Appreciate it.
Brigham, for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
All right, that's a wrap.